Prosperity and health, my beloved brothers. Prosperity and health, my beloved sisters. How many of you remember this iconic scene from the classic movie Beverly Hills Cops with the great Eddie Murphy?
Morning, officers. What y'all, the second team?
We're the first team.
Yeah, we're not gonna fall for a banana in the tailpipe.
You're not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
It should be more natural, brother. It should flow out like this. Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe. See, that's more natural for us. You've been hanging out with this dude too long.
The relevance, and I bring this scene up because it's time, sisters, it's time, brothers, for us to stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. I saw a video being shared, and there's a guy, kind of looks like a neo-Nazi or Nazi sympathizer, Aryan brother, who says that hip-hop is the blame for mass incarceration. Hip-hop is the blame for communities being flooded with drugs. Hip-hop is the blame for violence in America. We gotta stop gaslighting each other or allowing ourselves to be gaslit. I saw this video because a sister that I follow shared the video. And I get it, and I understand that hip-hop is not perfect. There are some elements that I would like to see changed. But to blame hip-hop for mass incarceration, to blame hip-hop for violence in America, to blame hip-hop for the drug problem in America, it's a straight lie from the pits of hell. It's a lie told by the children of the father of lies, the accuser of the brethren. See, we've been deceived over and over again. Take Africa, for instance. They told us that Africa is poor, that they're living in huts and swinging from trees, that Africa has no resources. So while they convinced us to stay away from Africa, to have nothing to do with Africa, they're getting rich by taking the resources away from Africa. Africa has the vital resources that Elon Musk needed in order to have his electric cars, right? He became a billionaire with Tesla, so Tesla would not be successful without the resources from Africa, right? They take resources from Africa that are used to make motherboards for computers and computer chips. So you have people like Bill Gates, who's a billionaire, who is profiting from Africa while you think Africa has nothing. You have even the iPhone and your cell phones that you have, they can't run without materials that are mined from Africa. So even Steve Jobs became a billionaire off of the resources from Africa, but they convinced us that there's nothing in Africa. These same people tell you that your hair is ugly, and then they go and get box braids and dreads. They tell you that your lips are too big, your butt is too big, but then they create $1 billion plastic surgery industry. They tell you that your dark skin is ugly, and then they create a multi-million-dollar tanning industry. You see bodybuilders who get very, very tanned. You know why they do that? Because they say dark skin makes the muscles look more defined, make them pop and beautiful. But they tell you that your skin is ugly. We got to stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Listen, hip hop has nothing to do with the school to prison pipeline. Hip hop has nothing to do with for-profit jails. In fact, when you look at the war on drugs, I can't remember which president it was, rather it was Nixon or Reagan, but one of their aides said that the war on drugs is really a war on black people, right? They made it because black people use crack, white people use cocaine. You get more time for having crack than you do for having cocaine, but you can't get crack without the cocaine. How many rappers or how many people in hip hop are shipping over drugs? Do we have planes to fly the drugs in? Do we have boats to ship the drugs in? We don't have any of those things, right? They say, oh, Frank Lucas did it, but you know how he did it? He did it with U.S. military planes, U.S. military ships. That's how he did it. He couldn't do it without the U.S. military planes. Guns, gangs, they say all of that is because of hip hop. But when the truth is, the CIA is known, it's a fact that the CIA was giving drugs and guns to gangs and instigating violence and war between the gangs. There was a guy, he was an ex-cop, I believe. He came out with proof and evidence that the CIA was doing these things in LA to keep the gang violence going. And they found him unalived with 2 holes in the back of his head. And they said that he did it to himself. They said that he put 2 holes in the back of his own head. The children of the father of lies, the accusers of the brethren. Listen, it's time for us to stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Hip hop is not perfect. Africa's not perfect, but we can't allow them to continue to demonize us, to demonize our culture while they profit from it. Look at all of the commercials on TV that has hip hop in it. If they're not using hip hop music, they're using the slang from our culture, right? There's a internet commercial that says you need big gig energy. There's a fast food commercial that says, I know you want to smash this. See, they'll use our culture to sell products and to get rich and then tell us that our culture is evil. You can't go to a sporting event without seeing hip hop or hearing hip hop. So for someone outside of the culture to then turn around and to blame hip hop for mass incarceration, rather than blaming the war on drugs, the fake war on drugs, rather than blaming the 1994 crime bill from Bill Clinton and Joe Biden. Drugs, they say, is ours, but we're not bringing the drugs in. They even lie on our brown-skinned people at the border and say that they're bringing in the fentanyl when they know that most of the people caught bringing in fentanyl at the south border are Americans. We have to stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe and allowing ourselves and our culture to be demonized in order for us to step away from it and allow others to profit from it. Y'all be blessed.